It's been a weird few years when it comes to animations or animated movies in general. Like, don't get me wrong, there's been some fine ones here and there, but I remember back in the day, by back in the day, I mean usually before 5 years ago, where every single animation that seemed to drop from either Disney or DreamWorks was a straight slap, just freaking incredible, where like it was the thing to watch that year. Whether that was Kung Fu Panda, or whether that was How to Train Your Dragon, or Toy Story, or Finding Nemo, or freaking Mr. Peabody and Sherman. That's a great, I need to review that movie. That's a fantastic animation. Those days are kind of gone, I feel like, and I'm not saying they're gone for good. I don't want to be depressing here, but they certainly haven't been around for a long time, because all the last recent animations that I've watched, probably about 85% of them have either been just desperately forgettable or actually blatantly bad. I have to say that despite how good Soul was, it still left me wanting a movie that I could laugh at. An animation, bring it back to the old times when animations were about laughing, about having fun, about comedy. And I miss that. It feels like animations these days are either made to make you think super deeply, or they're just general kids movies that rope adults into it by getting people like Will Smith and Tom Holland to voice act in your movie. But I just miss the times overall when animations had more value in one way or another, especially in the laughing department. And that is exactly what Mitchell's vs. the Machines offers. Mitchell's vs. the Machines is a Sony animated film, and it's the first animated film that they've made that adopts the same animation method as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse since that movie came out. And honestly, I thought it was a rather odd choice to have a weird, goofy family movie to adopt that kind of animation instead of another superhero movie that they have the rights over. They did this instead, and I'm really happy they did. It turned out absolutely perfect. The sad part of the story is that eventually Netflix bought the movie out from them so that they could have it exclusively streamed on Netflix. And I think that's probably the saddest part about this movie, is that we can't all go watch this in theaters. This movie is genuinely hilarious. I have not laughed this hard during the entirety of a movie in years. It starts off on a decent note with good characters, with kind of your quirky teenage girl that you know is different and emo or whatever she is, and her family loves to spend time with her, but she's starting to get tired of spending time with her family because she's about to go to college. Kind of your typical coming of age story. Starts off on this note and you think, okay, it could go anywhere from here, and it only gets better. Now, there are some really funny beats at the beginning of the movie to get you hooked, but unlike most even comedy films, the humor only gets stronger and better as the film develops. I don't know why, it's just something that I've noticed that both with animated comedies and live action comedies, what tends to happen is they'll put all their best jokes in the first and second act of the movie, and then in the third act they'll either try to get emotional and connecting, or they'll try and get dramatic and sad, or they'll try and do something, which can be a good thing. That's not inherently a bad thing, but if I'm in to watch a comedy, I want to feel like I can laugh throughout the whole movie, and this movie delivers its best laughs in the final act. Let's talk about the fact that animations hardly have a very decent moral anymore. I mean, what was the point of Luca? Can anyone tell me what the actual point of Luca was? Run away from your parents, don't listen to them, they're not wise enough to know, listen to your pretty terrible influence friend who's probably gonna get you killed. Mitchell's vs. the Machine has such a strong moral purpose of family and the purpose of family, and I think there is not a time in history that we needed that message more than now. This movie is just great through and through. It teaches a good purpose. It lets you laugh a bajillion times while doing it. It's got great animation. It's got a great story. And by the way, the animation for those robots, I gotta say, sidetrack, watching this movie made me realize more than ever how badly I want Sony to be able to make an animated version of the Transformers, like War for Cybertron storyline. That it'll never happen as far as we can see, because Sony doesn't even own Transformers. I'm just saying, that would be the dang coolest thing. That is one of my deepest dreams right now, is for a company to use that animation to make a War for Cybertron story. Did you see the robots and how they moved, how slick it was? If they applied that to Cybertronians and the war on Cybertron, that could easily be one of the freaking coolest movies just ever. But yeah, every character had a moment to shine in this movie. Everyone had their purpose and their spot. Nothing felt like it was just there just to exist, and everyone had their development. At the end of the day, this movie I will give a solid 9 out of 10. It is a great movie. I've been on the roll with seeing some really good movies recently. Luckily, because we haven't seen movies from the last couple years because I was serving a mission for my church, I've just been able to watch the best ones, and this is certainly one of them. That's it for today though, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please make sure to subscribe. With that being said, I'll see you guys soon. Later, guys.